Welcome to the Slingshot channel. Yes, and today I want to tell you the story of the instant Ronin double 10 toes. I took Martin Koning's great little clamp and modified it a little bit so I can hang it around my neck, because now it is also a really great way to carry this thing, since at any time I can just pull it off, eject the knives, do whatever I want to, and then put them back together and snap them back into place, and they're very secure. And also, since the clamp actually prevents them from sliding out, you cannot open them when they're in here. You first have to take it out and then you can open them, like so. Yes, here you can pretty much see the whole development stages. But let's start at the beginning. It was in February 2024 when Martin Koning, a guy living in Rotterdam, actually contacted me via email, and he had an idea. He had an idea basically to take knives like this here. These you can very cheaply buy on Temu and AliExpress and maybe even Amazon. So, you know, two knives that kind of slide into each other's handle and make them extendable so that you actually have a double blade length, so that the blade actually can be up to here. And so his idea was simply to make them sliding not only into each other's handle but also back into their own handle. So that was his idea, and he suggested making a sword or something out of this. But then we started to discuss this further, and we sent each other, I don't know how many emails, probably more than 100, until we said, okay, this is the format that we want. This is the size. We want like 13 centimeter handles so that they extend. So, and I was actually the one who made the first prototype. So this is the very first instant Ronin prototype. We didn't call it that way back then, and it still works to this day. So as you can see, the blades are wood, of course, and they're still very much the same principle, where each blade unlocks the other one, so they're locked blades, but if you push them in, they unlock each other so that you can slide them back into their own handles. So this magic moment was born, and we were completely captivated by the idea. And we kept on designing and designing. So we had many ideas. Some of them looked more like sex toys than like knives, I have to say. But in the end, we settled for a very, very simple, straightforward 10-toe design, slightly curved. And I made the first prototype with metal. So this is the first prototype. Looks fairly, I mean, it's all wood, of course, and the blades are actually aluminum. So these are not even steel blades, they're not even sharp. But it looked a lot more realistic, and actually this still looks very close to the end result that we have today. So, and again, they also unlock each other, like so. Yeah. And then Martin made another prototype, and he used his 3D design skills. So he's an engineer, so he can do these things, and I have to work with a saw and everything. And he made one, and and he 3D printed it, and it came out really great. It was a great, believable piece. What it was not is a usable knife. So we continued to develop until, based on Martin's ideas, we got the first prototype made in Italy by Fox Knives, this one here. Okay, so these are real knives for the first time, but they had some major flaws that I really did not like at all. So for example, one of the things that I really didn't like much is that the handles actually were so heavy that they kind of opened themselves. So this would not hold together. So I installed magnets, those have been lost since then. I installed magnets that hold them close, and that was like the final design idea. So a few iterations later, we got this one here, and this is now coming directly from production. It's one of the first 10 samples. Everything is finished, even the box is finished. So these are completely there, and they are just amazing. Now they reduce the play of the blades a lot. The magnets are invisible in here, so you can't see the magnets. will catch some iron dust, of course. So these are the final knives, and look how long the blades look like. This it looks unreal, I think. And again, it's like very much the same principle. And if you compare it to my first wooden prototype, it's actually pretty close. The length is absolutely the same. And yeah, a lot of people now say you have to make the tsuba larger so that you cannot slip. Well, this is actually really all you need. Plus also the blades are not sharpened until here. Here is where the sharpened part begins. Yeah. So those are really useful knives. Now, what they are is, I mean, again, the play is there, but it's very small. It's like a tiny little amount of play. But that is completely normal for out the front knives. So this one here is like an out the front safety tool, which is legal in Germany. And of course, the blade well. And the same goes for like this one here, which I think is some kind of a Stanley knife. Yeah. So you can extend this, and of course there is play. It's kind of unavoidable in these. Even this one here, which is the Bökers-like, it does have play in extended position. You can't prevent it because there's no spring that presses against it. So, yeah, but the play is really small and the knives are very, very, very sturdy. And of course, they have this magic built in. Now, are they as stable as a full tang knife? No, because they're not full tang. They are, from their stability, they are very comparable to a well-made folder, where you also have no full tang, of course. So these are really great for, like, as a collector's piece, and they're also useful as a normal knife, but these are not there to fell a tree with them. Right? I mean, you can hack all you want, but of course, same as a folding knife, it doesn't have the stability and solidity like a full-tang knife. Regarding cost, each knife costs 200 euros, so you have to buy a set, of course, so the set is 400 euros. They're limited to 5,000 pieces, and they should hit the shop probably later this month. And then it's, as always with our limited releases, as long as supply lasts. When they're all gone, then they're all gone. But I wanted to take the time and tell the story to you because, I mean, this now almost took us 2 years from the first ideas to the final design, to the final product. And that's not untypical. Knife design is nothing that you can do quickly. But I'm very, very proud. Martin and me as a team, we did something really remarkable, I think. We brought out a knife that had never been seen before, not like that. And that's a rare thing to say in the knife business. No matter what kind of knife you design, you can pretty much guarantee someone else did just the same maybe 100 years ago. In any case, I hope you like this because that's it for today. Thanks and bye-bye. It's addictive, you have to do it again and again.